here is how to fix the handle hand or the right hand staying up when unequipping while seated. Okay, so here's my fixed version. Looks nice. Yep. You could unequip. Yep. Looks good in the server. And here's how the broken version looks like. You sit down and the hand is still up. This also happens in R6, but you can't see it because, well, you can see it. It's just that the R6 animation has both of the hands standing up. So, yeah. But this is how to fix it in R15 because it does look pretty ugly. Okay, now let's get to scripting. So you want to add a local script onto your item and then name it whatever you want. So I'll name it like the sword console. Okay, and then now we just gotta identify the sword. So local tool equals script.Parent. Okay, so we're also gonna identify the player. So player equals game. Yep. Okay. So now we have identified the players, and now we gotta get the animator. So local animator is equal to player.Character .WaitForChild humanoid. Holy, I can't spell. Yep. Okay. Now I am gonna add my own animation. So this is just like the holding animation on the sword, just to make it look better. So you could add your own. This is how you do it. Boom, 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 like that. So, and then now we get into the main animator. Okay, now let's get into the main animation. So local holy animation is equals to Instance.new animation, not animator, animation. Okay, so now we're gonna get the animation ID. So animation.animation ID is equal to boom. So this is the main Roblox sitting animation, and you could make your own if you want, and then paste the Roblox ID on here. So now we're gonna make a local function that finds out if the player is R15 or R6, and this is how you do it. I'm gonna do a animation for the sitting. So local SitAnim is equal to instance, right? Instance. No. We're just gonna do the animator. Animator load animation like that. Boom. So the SitAnim, we're gonna change the priority to it. So priority. Sorry, I said that. But instead of action 4, we're just gonna change it to movement, because we gotta make it a lower priority than our original sword holding animation. Okay, because our sword holding animation is action 4, and we can't have it overriding this. Okay, so now this is where we get into a local function where we find out if the player is R6 or R15. Before we get into our local function, replace humanoid with animator, like that. Okay, now let's get into our local function. So local function FindPlayersRig. Okay, so FindPlayersRig, and now if Humanoid.RigType is equal to Enum.HumanoidRigType. Yep. .R6, then return R6. Nice. Okay. So now we do the same, but instead of R6, R15. If humanoid.RigType, hold on, forgot to put that, is equal to Enum.HumanoidRigType R15, then return R15. Okay. So, and then we're also going to return nil if none of these catches. So return nil, and we're going to write a warn. Couldn't find players rig. Exclamation mark. Alright. So now we're gonna get into our local function that fixes the sitting animation. Okay guys, so I made another dire mistake, and I would forgive you guys if you guys want to put my head on a stake. So instead of doing player.Character, we're gonna do Humanoid.RigType Animator, because we're not looking for the character doesn't have the animator. And I also had the perfect run going, but my mother decided to burst into my room and start yapping. But that's besides the point. Let's get into the gaming. Okay, so local function. Want to make it look fancy. Local function. FixSittingAnim. We're gonna do. So we want to exclude the R6 since we just don't need R6. We want to do if FindPlayersRig is equal to R6, then we're gonna return end because we don't need R6. If Animator is equal to no, not is equal to. If Humanoid.sit, then we're gonna do the. We're gonna play this. So we're gonna play the sit animation. SitAnim play. Since if it's sitting, we want the sit animation to play. Okay, and we're also gonna do a change to the event. So humanoid.changed connect function. Lordy Lord. Connect function. Okay, and if not humanoid.sit, then we're gonna SitAnim stop, because we don't want to be walking around with a sitting animation. Alright, so now we're gonna do the equipped functions. So let's get started. Tool.equipped connect function. Okay. So now we have the tool equipped. So we're gonna play my sword animation first. Okay, so sword animation is playing, and now we're gonna find the R15 animation, and we're gonna find out if the player is sitting again. So what just happened? Okay, misinput. If FindPlayersRig is equal to R15 and humanoid.sit, then we're gonna do SitAnim. We're gonna set the priority. I can't priority like that. We're gonna set the priority to Enum.AnimationPriority action. So we set it to action so it doesn't interrupt our sword animation. So our sword holding animation. And you might ask why we do this instead of, doing SitAnim stop. And if you run this, well, not right now, it's not going to run good, but if you run this while our script is done, it's going to look normal. But if you click on the server, you're going to be standing up on the chair. So I'll show you guys later. So let me, I don't know, show stop. Okay, so just so I don't forget. Okay, but now let's get to our unequipped. So, tool dot unequipped. Hold on, I'm kind of lagging. Tool dot unequipped connect function, and we're gonna do sword animation stop. So we're gonna stop our sword animation when we unequipped, and we're also gonna find out again if the players are 15, and then we're gonna run this FixSittingAnim fixsitting local function. So if FindPlayersRig equals to R15, then fix sitting animation. Okay, so now we run this, it's gonna run this, blah blah blah, and it should run perfectly fine. Yep. Okay, now we run it, gamers. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so we sit down right here. Yep, unequipped, hands look perfectly fine, perfectly still. Okay, and then, looks good in the server. Looks good in the server. And now, let me show you if we stopped it instead of setting the action. Okay, so stop. Now, if we would have done that, then, you know, it looks normal on the client. But as soon as we do this, the server, we're standing up on the chair. Because it only runs in the client, and it doesn't get to the server. Yeah, so that's why we set the action priority. Hold on. So we set the action priority instead of stopping it. So that's basically it. Let me know if you guys find a better way, and I'll pin your comment. Yep. Don't judge me. I know I suck at typing. My keyboard is absolute baloney. But yep, that's basically how you do it. Pretty simple, but let me know if you guys find a better method. That's all I could come up with. So make sure to join my group. It's called We the People. It's in my profile. My username is FindPlayer. Like that. Alright. And take care, people. Bye bye. And I forgot to mention, forgive me for my mic, I am not a mouth breather. It's just a mic, and it sucks, and it's stuck to my headphones. I swear, I'll try to get a better mic. And I broke my last mic when I was playing Blox Fruits back in the day. But that's besides the point, and again, thank you for watching. Bye bye, leave a like or something. Gracias.